Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Marit EGNER from the University of Oslo. The floor is yours, Marit.
Thank you. So I will not address this from a very academic side, but from a more practical side. I work at the Central Administration of the University of Oslo, and I'm also the contact person for Scholars at Risk at University of Oslo. I will speak about, I'll just put up my presentation. Okay, I think you see now my presentation. I will speak about how universities are joining forces within EU projects to address some of the practical issues when it comes to working with particularly researchers at risk, but I will also to some extent talk about activities relating to students who have a refugee background. My presentation is not moving. Okay. The University of Oslo has a new strategy going up to 2030. In this picture, you see Rector Svein Stølen, who is talking about the ambitions of this strategy. And I take this up because academic freedom is really at the forefront of this strategy, and it's also very clearly stated that part of our responsibility is to have solidarity with researchers around the world and to work hard for academic freedom and to protect it, and also work with researchers who are seeing challenges. So how are we doing this? So the University of Oslo have a kind of strategy of support, I would say. One is that we are protecting researchers at risk at the University of Oslo. We are receiving 4 to 5 researchers at risk every year through Scholars at Risk and the Scholar Rescue Fund. From 2015, we also had an academic dugnad for refugees. A dugnad is coming together and doing a work together. And there we went through all our systems for connected to student and mission and how to deal with students, so that we should make sure that we have better systems to also provide for students with refugee background. We are also part of a Norwegian program called Students at Risk, which is supporting student activists who can come to Oslo and finalize their education if they had been expelled from their university because of political activity, for example. We also try to share experiences and widen the network engaged in this area. So we do this by working with other universities, and for example, we have been supportive of building up national Scholars at Risk sections around Europe. And we're also participating in European projects. So the Academic Refuge project that was mentioned earlier, and also the Inspire Europe project. I'll come back to both of these. And we're also trying more generally to take part in discussions on academic freedom, autonomy, and human rights. In the Academic Refuge program project, we made a MOOC on academic freedom. And this it's an online course. And this one is running 2 times a year. The next one will be in March 2021. And this is a way to bring together people from around the world to discuss challenges that scholars and students are meeting in the world, and particularly in countries of conflict. We are also participating in international associations, etc. I will not talk so much about the challenges outside Europe, but in the next slides, I will talk about efforts that are done in Europe. So I made a list of some of the EU projects that have been dealing with questions relating to the integration of students and researchers with a refugee background, and researchers at risk, also including those who are coming directly to Europe through Scholars at Risk, Scholar Rescue Fund, the PAUSE program, etc. So the University of Oslo coordinated the academic refuge project. It was together with Scholars at Risk and the UNICA network, and also the University of Ljubljana. And in this project, we tried to, it was started just after the refugee crisis, and it was very much about bringing people together and get up a lot of ideas on what we could follow up further. And we were quite engaged in bringing together the questions relating to protecting and integrating researchers at risk and refugee students in Europe with the work connected to academic values in higher education around the world. Among the other projects, you can see the Sucre project, GREET, Bridge, and CARE projects. All of these are working on how to support researchers at risk, either because they came as refugees or through these support programs. And when you get the presentation later on, you can follow the links to see much of the material that has been produced in these projects. There have been mappings and also provided training material on how to work to integrate the researchers better in the institutions with things like how to make most out of the stay, how to give psychosocial support, etc., etc. So I would, if you're interested in this area, I would suggest to look into some of these projects. The Inspire Europe project, I will say a bit more about it because this is an ongoing project and the University of Oslo is also part of this project. But anyway, I think to see the complementarity between the different projects and to have cooperation between different projects, I think it's a very good idea. So Inspire Europe is an initiative to support, promote, and integrate researchers at risk in Europe. I included a small illustration up here because I think it shows what we're thinking of. When you're coming to Europe with a refugee background or coming from a country in conflict, you might have some lackings or some holes in your CV. Maybe it was difficult to publish, or you didn't have access to library, or you didn't have your freedom of speech, etc. So you might come with some challenges. So it's important for us to build on these blocks that you can stand on in order to be able to participate on equal level with all the other academics in Europe. These are the partners in the project. It's coordinated by Scholars at Risk Europe, which is hosted by Maynooth University in Ireland. And the other partners are some of the big support programs in Europe, like the PAUSE program in France and the Philipp Schwarz initiative in Germany is at Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, and also UAF in the Netherlands. And then we have some universities participating as well. And EUA is also a very active partner in the project. So what are we doing? We try to make or help get a European assistance and support structure so that it's not just national level support, but that we can get something up on European level. This is particularly important, I think, for those countries that have less activities at the moment. We want to contribute to informed policy making across Europe, and we're in close contact with the EU Commission on how to improve things. So all of this is like how to make this big network. We're also working with individual researchers at risk on career development activities and with individual institutions on training on how to work with the researchers at risk in order to make them able to participate on equal level in academia, and as Amal said, to be also a resource in this society you have moved to. And then we're also having a particular focus on widening the network in parts of Europe where we don't have so many partners yet, and this is particularly Eastern and Southeast Europe. In November, we launched a mapping report going through many of the challenges and opportunities in relation to researchers at risk in Europe. And I would say that the two main findings, there's a lot of material in there, of course, but among the main findings, we saw that the institutions see that the main challenge, or the main challenges, is shortage of funding for including researchers at risk in the institutions, and also the competitiveness of the research labor market, both within academia and in other sectors of society. So in these areas, we need to work on a structural level, I think. And then from the researchers interviewed in the project, we see that they see the challenges of getting a relevant job is the main challenge. So career development opportunities is really, really important in order for the researchers to succeed in Europe. We would like more people to join our activities, because we want this to be really a pan-European network over time. Luckily enough, with the COVID-19 situation, we had planned for a lot of online events, but also some face-to-face events, and now most of it is going online. So we have a number of webinars. The next upcoming webinar is on the 9th of December. Here we will the focus target group is host institutions and employers, and we will look at how to make the most out of the stay for the researchers. So we have a number of researchers at risk who will talk about what was the most useful way they got assisted while in their host institutions. And there will be more webinars, both focusing on the researchers themselves and on the employer side. In April, we will have a stakeholder forum, which is more high-level discussions, but also very interactive with the small group working sessions, etc. If you join our mailing list, you will be able to also participate in consultation processes and also get informed about what is happening in the project. I know that the UNICA network has a number of university members in Eastern and Southeast Europe. So I want to draw your attention particularly to that we are planning for hopefully face-to-face events in Krakow in the autumn 2021, and in Thessaloniki in the spring of 2022 to work with partner institutions in these regions. So this was what I wanted to share with you today, and then of course you can ask me more things for the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marit. Lots going on.